Hey, P-Taggers, Israel Allen here, PTA Global. Welcome to Coach's Corner. Another episode here where we're talking about training clients. So again, we're talking about the experience of the clients. Today's topic, in the spirit of our recovery and regeneration month, we are basically focusing on the importance of recovery and regen in training our clients. Let's jump right in it. So the first thing that we want to just understand is the impact of cortisol. So cortisol is not a bad thing. It's a natural hormone that is produced in the adrenals and it basically can stimulate kind of fight or flight response. But it also has a lot of um, important benefits in the autonomic nervous system. Increasing blood sugar, suppressing the immune system, regulating blood pressure, insulin release for blood sugar maintenance, to name a few. And so, again, cortisol is not a bad thing. It's when we have too much cortisol, we have too much stress being produced, and we turn chronic stress, right? So it's been there for too long, it's in abundance, and now it becomes toxic. It becomes catabolic to our body, which basically means it breaks down cells at every level. And our body is, made of the entire unit is made of cells. And so it's important that as we're talking about breaking down cells, right, that we understand that this affects everything from eyesight to hair to immune function to reproductive function to everything, right? And so as we look at this, we talk about impaired cognitive performance, right? So if you're forgetting things, if you have a loved one that maybe has early onset dementia or Alzheimer's, I think we all kind of know somebody that's been affected by that. Again, chronic stress can be a big part of that. So suppressed thyroid function, we know thyroid and metabolism go hand in hand, so really, really important there. Also sleep, can be affected there. And so those are all things that we know. And again, there's a myriad of things from bone density to a decrease in muscle tissue, right? As we're breaking down muscle, but maybe not building it up because we don't have the recovery and regeneration, right, to get back into the adaptation phase. And so that's really, really important. So again, just a list of so many things that are impacted by cortisol. So let's kind of jump in to what tool we're going to use to be able to not only assess someone's readiness, right, what they're walking into us with, right, what they're coming into session with, but how to make adjustments, right? So the tool that we're going to use today is going to be our daily readiness observation. So again, you can find this tool on your education homepage with your tools. You can download this. We're going to look at the single day tool, but we also have a multi-day tool, which is really beneficial to track progress over time and to look at patterns of consistency. So if you know that every Monday they're coming in wrecked because you find out that every Monday they have meetings and phone calls, and that's like it's Monday callapalooza, and they're just beat by the time they come into their Monday session, then that's a pattern, right? So that we need to identify that okay, if there's not a lot of things we can do to help them at work, well, gosh, how do we help them in their workouts, right, on those Mondays, right? So that would be an example. So couple questions here, just in the essence of time. What do we do? And so we're going to put them on the treadmill for maybe 5 minutes and ask just a couple of few key questions that'll allow us to figure out really quickly where they're at in their stress level. Okay. So what questions do we ask? Again, I'm going to condense this in the essence of time. Essentially, we're looking for 3 different categories here: lifestyle, physical, and then essentially their motivation or emotional. Okay. And so under lifestyle, essentially we're trying to figure out how much sleep they had, right? When was the last time they ate? And how physically demanding is the rest of their day? And so again, if they're running a marathon later on today, you're probably going to train them a little different. Or if they've ran a marathon the day before, then if yesterday and today and tomorrow they're just Netflix and chilling, right? So probably a little different, but we need to figure those things out. Second category here, looking at kind of the physical, is really kind of pain, tightness, soreness. So was yesterday's workout just a bruiser? Did they do a lot of heavy lifting over the weekend, and so they're feeling that? Those are things that I want to know so I can alter the program design that I should have already written by now. Okay, so again, this is writing a program design, administering the DRO, and then making adjustments where needed to the existing program design. Okay, so keep it super simple there. And then last category here, in the essence of time, we're not getting into the move observation, but the last category of questions that we're going to ask is around the emotional state, right? What's your level of motivation? Okay, and you can use a scale of 1 to 10. Do you feel mentally just charged and ready? For each of these 3 buckets, you're going to have a scoring system of 1 to 3. 1 being, hey, they're A++, good to go. 3 being they're completely trashed. And you're going to want to figure out between 1 and 3, where are they in each of these 3 categories? Okay, then you're going to total that up. Okay, and perfect score is going to be a 3. Worst score is going to be a 9. Okay, and so we're going to use that strategy. We're going to use that scoring system to basically alter and make the changes we need in their workout. Going back into the move observation, again, this is a series of movement assessments. You can find out more about this in some of our other courses, our ESM, our Mentorship 2. But basically, it's a series of observations that you're looking at to assess where are some possible impairments, ankle, hip, thoracic, spine, to be able to see what areas might need a little bit more attention when we get to tissue work or some other work like that, within our adjustments that we're in. Okay. All right. So going back into it, so we look at again the 3 key categories here. So if they scored low, okay, meaning high, like 3, so they scored out of balance or high on these questions, meaning they needed to make adjustments on the physical bucket. Some biggest bang for your buck. In other words, if you've got 2 out of 3 of these, both physical and mental, are kind of wrecked, then we could probably choose one of the top 3, right? We want to adjust the intensity, we want to adjust the overall volume, take it from maybe 3 sets to 2 sets, from 20 reps to maybe 15 reps. Something like that would be simple changes if they scored high in a couple to few buckets, okay? The biggest takeaway here is figuring out which strategies, right, to manipulate for their score and which ones are going to work best for them. Okay, so again, if they came in with an ankle issue, a knee issue, and a low back issue and were in pain, right, but also had some mental and emotional stuff, we're probably not going to spend the most time on ESD, right? Well, energy system development is a great, no. And maybe we spend a little bit of time on games, but more than anything, if they're coming in with pain and there's some pretty big impairments going on, we need to figure out where the biggest bang for our buck is. And in that case, it's probably some, recovery and regen, some tissue work, maybe some activation work, mobility work, to get them moving and feeling better for the next day, but knowing that they can still burn calories in the process. So just think through that. Got to put your training cap on, and how to best apply your daily readiness observation to, again, meet a client where they need to be met. You're going to score them, you're going to make the adjustments, and then you're going to adapt those adjustments to the workout. And again, please feel free to download the multi-day where now you can then see a pattern and if your are really driving home. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. Feel free to leave your comments at the bottom here, and hopefully your recovery and regeneration this month and months to come, right, is spot on. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.